Hi everybody, it's Pam from the Paper Outpost, and I have here for you a new journal that's just completed. Her name is A Lady's Vintage Journal, and she is packed full. She has so many goodies inside of her. I just can't wait to show you. So let's take a look at her. She is made of chipboard. She is a hardcover. She has a beautiful metal medallion on the front. Okay. And beautiful, beautiful aged paper on the front that has been sealed. She has a book spine that is a hidden spine. This is actually canvas that I hand dyed and affixed into place to make the spine. And her back, it looks similar. And she has a beautiful dangle here. Let's see if I can get a close-up of this, which is easily removable, but it's made with pearls and beads and glass and mother of pearl shell and just gorgeous little baubles. And all right, back up a little bit. Okay, so you can see her. This easily is removed. Put that there. And I bound her with this is a vintage lace that I hand dyed. So just tied it in a bow for easy removal. And now we'll take a peek inside this lovely lady. All right, let me zoom in just a little bit. Okay, that's a little, there we go. How about, is that good? All right, that looks pretty good. All right, so inside her front cover, she has a beautiful picture of some birds with the word pretty. As always in my journals, I have this little note. This one is avocado dyed, so it's a pinkish color. And this is a little note explaining about the journal, what you can do with the journal, different ideas for it. It answers a lot of questions that many new journalers may have, and it's hand signed by me. Okay. Tuck that back in there. All right, so let's carry on here. She's a big girl. Oh, let me tell you her dimensions. She is, and I wrote this down for simplicity, she is approximately 8 by 5 1/4 and a 2 1/8 inch spine. She has 240 pages. She has a lot of baubles and dangles and little charms, metal charms, all throughout that can be used as little tags or tuck spots to remind you where you have certain things in the book. She does have, she is heavily embellished with a lot of vintage ephemera and, which are there? Vintage ephemera and handmade ephemera, and probably about 75 to 80% of it can be physically removed easily from the book. So if you want a lot more writing space, this book will collapse right down to a regular size book. There. Okay. All right. So let's take a peek. And there's the front page. I told you about that one. Moving on. I'll take that out. We have a lot of hand dyeing of the papers. We have torn, old, antiqued pages. And this is an old file card. This is what I call a peekaboo. Here's a peekaboo. Give you an inspiration to journal. And this is a little tag with a postcard, number 31 on the back, and some stamps and some little rhinestones. And this is this has a little bedangle here. And it's a little what I call a tearaway. You can take these papers and use them any way you like in the journal. You can leave it as a little notebook or just tear the papers away and use them as you see fit through the journal. This page is a little fabric pocket that I've made, and here is some extra writing paper. This is also avocado dyed. And here is a beautiful old letter. June 14th, 1946. Okay. Here we have a beautiful page with some, this is a playing card that has collaged a napkin on top of it with some machine sewing, and it has a 1911 card, some ephemera, another little writing tag, and a little collaged tag. I think I'm going to back up just a little bit. There. How about there? There's good. All right. So moving along, we'll just fly through these pages so that you can get an idea of what she has in her. Little tucks. Nope, that's sealed. Here's a little double tuck spot made from a book page and inked with lace on the edge. And this is fold out extra paper for writing. Thinking of you. This is a dried flower I put in here. And this is a little raggedy. Extra scraps on the front and back. Has excellent texture. Here's another little note paper. Extra room for you to write on. Lots of extra writing and journaling space in here. Lots of little frayed fabric paperclip toppers. Some very baked paper, coffee dyed. And here is a little tuck. It's got some interesting little cards in it. Journaling card. Here's an old bank statement. Or no, bank statement. This is a check. Yes, I remember what those look like. They're checks. And here's some old ephemera from a magazine. All right. Here's some embossing I did on a dictionary page and put a lace tab on it. Some more journaling space, collaged. Another little surprise writing spot, story. Here's, there are several little quotes throughout, made into pockets from envelopes, and more little writing cards for you. Another writing card. Here's a little pocket that I made out of old book pages, and I put some cards in there. This one is actually one of those tearaways, so you can have fun with that, exploring the different papers. Lots of different feels. There's fabrics. This is fabric, hand stamped, and then there's punching and sewing. So lots of different textures throughout. Here's another one of these. This is actually an old postcard that has a flower in it. I put the flower in it, but thought that was pretty. And center, it's this beautiful scene by the lake, and this little double-sided tab in the center. And we have this beautiful page with a corner pocket, some Victorian die cuts in the corner, and some tags for writing on. Lovely vintage lady. Oop, don't look. She's not fully dressed. It's all appropriate. Don't worry. She's covered. But you know, back in the 20s, you had your bathing suit down to your ankles. Some beautiful coffee dyed papers. Lovely little lady in the corner. The little song sheet. And this is a fabric tearaway on some stenciled paper. And that's the back. And here's a little embossed envelope with a little piece of artwork This is watercolor on watercolor paper that I did. It's a little original tucked in there, and it's signed on the back. And here's a little extra writing space, create, and a little collage collection in the bottom. All right, some more writing paper. Okay, and this is some paper ribbon down the side. Here's an old receipt from 1903, a hardware company. Some ribbon on the side and a beautiful pink collage page here, a pocket and another pocket. And here you have a round handmade ephemera, another little tearaway booklet, and a beautiful writing card. Also known as a journaling card. Okay, here's another surprise little area to write. Pretty perfect. This is very pink and very frilly and very girly, I would say, for those who enjoy lace and baubles and texture and Victorian times, vintage times. This flips up so you can, it's actually a little notebook. There's several pages in here with some ribbon on top and hand stamping. This is an old ledger paper from an old antique ledger. Beautiful lace on this page. Didn't want to do anything to disturb that lace. It was just gorgeous on its own. And here's a little side tuck. And this has a wonderful vintage banana nut bread recipe in it. And some advertising from a vintage magazine. Some music paper, vintage music paper. And here's a lovely pocket in a pocket. This one you can remove. And it has several little writing tags inside. Choose to see the good stuff. Try to put lots of little prompts in there. Lots of laces on this page. It feels very, there's laces on the front and on the sides. Kind of, I like to see the little peek through of the laces as you're moving through the journal. It beckons you to keep going forward to see what's next. Here's another pretty Victorian die cut. These are vintage. They're actually, they're probably antique. They're probably over 100 years old. Nice little lace tab at the top and some black lace at the bottom. And some feathered in and vintage papers along the side. Little butterfly here. This is a removable envelope. And it has a little fabric fringe, and inside we have this lovely picture of these lovely ladies. Aren't they pretty? Looks like Easter. Yeah, I'm guessing that's a basket of Easter eggs. Another dyed paper, a little tuck pocket, and what other little lovelies do we discover in here? Oh, here's an old vintage glassine bag filled with old vintage stamps and a little shiny bauble. Lots of threads hanging from the sewn elements. Here's a lovely little notebook with the cover of these lovely young girls on it and some hand stamping at the top. More layering on the sides. And here we have some extra writing space for you. And here's a little journaling card. Okay, another little pocket with some extra journaling cards. And this is another one of those flowers I made into what is supposed to look like a slide. Sandwiched between two pieces of acetate and aged. And here is another lovely little tearaway in a tuck spot, and another journaling card, some stickers, and some beautiful fairy prints with lace. Okay, there we are. All right, okay. Beautiful note paper here with lace. A lovely little collage. Here's another little pocket made out of a book page with hand stamping and dyeing. And here's a little surprise cherish. Lots of texture. Here's a little paper clip backed onto canvas, and you can use this as a bookmark. Here's a lovely page with a lovely picture of a woman on it sewing. I love that sewing machine. Is that not beautiful? And the dress she's making. Oh, I'll take one, please. Okay. Here's an embellished envelope. And inside this lovely little envelope, we have a very vintage photo of a lovely family. I would guess this is probably back in the 20s or 30s. Probably the 30s. A little story on behind it, but I'll leave that for the owner to read. And I also added some extra writing paper in here. On this side, this is a playing card that has been decorated, and there's a story about the Marquette Branch Prison. That's right. Very important to know your history about the prison. You don't want to end up there. Okay. Another beautiful die cut. Victorian times, I love those. And a gorgeous lady here with a feather, a little bit of bling, a butterfly, and a multi-layer pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4 tucks there. There's a vocabulary card, some little journaling cards, and a vintage ticket and some hand stamping. Okay, and this is just a pretty page with gorgeous paper, and I thought those buttons looked so pretty there, and they give it a nice feel. More pretty paper for inspiration, and here's some more areas to write on. In this book pocket made out of a book page adorned with a Christmas stamp. Okay, a bookmark on some coffee dyed paper. And here we have, this is a little tearaway, give you some inspiration, and then underneath it flips up and it says Spirit, and you can do some handwriting there. Here is another little pocket with a little tag inside and some stamps. Hand sewing. Yes, I hand sewed this baby. No, it was machine sewn. Here's a tiny little envelope with a little tiny tuck in it. Some inspiration quotes. And this is a Franken page, I believe they're called, constructed of all their pages. I think Nick the Booksmith coined that term. Love that term. Here's it's called Magic Pixie Dust. And I put in here some Venezuelan money. And I thought the colors of this went very nicely with the journal. And that's pretty much what money is, magic pixie dust, isn't it? So I thought it went well in this little tuck spot. And it has some lace across the top. More music pages. Here's another little pop open journaling spot with a little Victorian die cut there. And here is another old ticket, 1910, Grand Reception and Ball. Take me there too. Here's a Victorian beautiful card from the 1800s. You can buy your toilet articles from John Peabody. Yes, I would like some toilet articles, please. And this is a tag, writing tag, and made with a little ribbon on top. And here's some stenciling. And here's a pretty collage page with a woman's lovely dress, a beautiful My Fair Lady stamp, some script stamping, an old ace of spades, and the word gorgeous. And this is all layered collage on here. Journaling pages with lace. Here's another little journaling card in a fabric tuck spot. And this is a double lace flip. You have yellow, gorgeous yellow vintage lace, followed by gorgeous cream lace to reveal this lovely lady below. Wonder why she's looking over her shoulder. What's going on? And here's a beautiful hand-stamped distressed page. And here's a little notebook for extra writing. And there's some washi tape on the bottom. Okay. With some extra decorative papers on the side. I really enjoy breaking the edge and giving it that feel of many things have been tucked in here and saved, little mementos and pieces of someone's life. Although you can decorate this to model your own life, but this is just to give you inspiration and get you started. More writing pages. Bonjour, merci. A lovely lady with a journaling card and some clock stamps and some lace at the top. More lovely papers. More stenciling. So kind. And here is a lovely little file folder and a lovely little journaling card inside. All right, here's a little organza bag with a little tag inside and a little writing space here. And this is like a very cool feeling paper, tissue-ish type paper. And here's a lovely pocket that I made with laces, and these are all removable and you can write on the backs of those. More tickets, a nickel scroll, and one of my bird's nests made of extra sewing strings, which I always seem to have an abundance of. All right, here's some extra writing space with some stamping. Much layering on the sides. Here's a little envelope, like Shremen's being. And who's that? Who's that little stunner? Yes, she's sassy. Gotta love that look. Love those glasses. Have to get a pair of those. And here's a little envelope at the top with a ticket in it. And a parcel post. More beautiful, beautiful laces. Just whisking you back to simpler, more pleasant times. Here's a lovely pop-up open extra writing space with some gorgeous pictures and more inspiration. A lovely little baby. And here's a little collage page with a fabric flip, a lace flip, and we have a little stamp inside of here, tucked in here. The Christmas stamp on top with a little collage element. And here's a side tuck with more notes or tearaways, whatever you would like to use them for. Lots of strings left on, writing, stamping, coffee dyeing, tea dyeing. Beautiful bugle. Some bigger tags, smaller tags, and here's one of the button paper clips with the shanks I made the other day. More writing. Eeyore loses a tail. Anybody know where that's from? Today is full of possibilities. Extra writing paper. This is a little matchbook. Let me show you. More little inspirational things in here. Papers and notes. And this is an authentic vintage Cascara Sagrada medicine bottle label. And anybody know what Cascara Sagrada is used for? Can be very helpful if needed. Okay, here is an 1894 postcard, handwritten on the back, "Dear Sister." Little tuck here from a book page, an old receipt from 1903. The Atlantic Refining Company. Oh, this is a Thai, I believe this is from Thailand, and it's a lottery ticket. Yes, Thai government lottery. And here's a beautiful old children's poem from a vintage book. And here is another decorated envelope. And inside here we have more ephemera. There's a quiche Lorraine recipe and some postcards and some pictures. And I love this picture of these lovely two ladies. Aren't they wonderful? On a big trip somewhere, all dolled up, going out on the town, ruling the world. Yep. Okay, more writing papers. And here's a lovely, this is a flip that actually this removes, this entire piece removes. And it was an envelope that I decorated on the inside and the outside. And I tucked in extra journaling cards for you. And I love this picture of this nurse. Isn't she wonderful? Oh, come on, focus. Oh, she's just beautiful. I love her. There we go. And she just hangs on here like that. Are we in frame? Yes. Okay. More coffee dyed papers, and here's a pull down. Remember the now. Lots of inspiration throughout. Victoria's Garden. This is one of those 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. All sorts of little interesting things in here. This is just so cute. This little very, very old vintage card. So cute. So you're going to find a good mixture of handmade and vintage ephemera in here. Lots of lace, lots of baubles, lots of stamping, sewing. All right. Okay. And here's another little notebook. More writing and stamping. Here's a beautiful postcard. And this is, oh, not sure what that is. Oop. There you go. Come on, little guy. Okay. This is a little open flip. The little scene from a ballet going on, little ballerinas. And I believe, yes, she has little pockets on either side. So you can tuck little things in there as well. Okay. More pages from the Vintage magazine. Your parasols. You must get your parasols and your steamer trunks because you never know when you might need to go somewhere. More hand stamping. Victorian lady is always prepared. A lovely bunny dressed up in his tie. The center, the trumpet cornet book. Vintage music book. More coffee dyed paper. More writing space. Lots of some shoes. Women like their shoes. Here's a beautiful bicycle. Create, create, create. Okay, another little card. More vintage ephemera from the 1800s. Beautiful card. More coffee dyed and tea dyed papers. Lovely little lady here showing her best dress. Yes. And the eyeglass chart. This is a little notebook. And this is a little double tuck. It tucks here, and it houses this Victorian card and this journaling card. And here's a picture of two lovely ladies, probably sisters. And here's another one of those little flip up and outs for extra writing space. Now this page has two little things on it. This opens up with a little inspiration in there, and this is a little mini booklet, and in the top of the booklet there's a little pocket so you can slide a journaling card in and out of there. And here's a decorated envelope with a leaf, and it has a library card in it. And what else do we have in there? Oh, some beautiful old writing paper, which I tea dyed. And this is her back. She says postcard, and she has a little lace pocket for you to put something in. And that is her back. And then because I was going crazy and I was getting so excited about putting things in for her, I have a few extra things that didn't actually fit. So I'm just going to add them, but I'm just going to show them to you quickly. But basically, there is a little handmade pocket with lace, a raggedy, a beautiful ledger page from 1914, which opens up. It's quite large. Quite large. The writing on it is just gorgeous. And a little tearaway notebook made out of book pages. Another little tearaway notebook. And guess what? Another little notebook. Okay, so those will also come with the journal. And in addition to that, I made a writing board. It's hard, for this journal so that you can put it under a page if you want to do some journaling on that page. Just because there is so much ephemera in this, wanted to still make it easily usable for the journaler. And it's decorated with some vintage wallpaper on the back and a little bit of lace, and it has 4 metal tabs. So that will also be included with everything, and I will be storing all of that in this pretty little envelope that I made to store all of those extra goodies. So there you have her, folks. This has been a pleasant journey to show you the Ladies Vintage Journal. And this is Pam at the Paper Outpost. I hope everybody has a fabulous day. If you're interested in her at all, she will be on sale in my Etsy shop as soon as I upload this video. So take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.